Hey everyone, welcome to TBL Soundoff once again. Glad to have you here, Eddie T. What's up? And I'm here with my main man, none other than Jacob Spades from xheadlines.com. Jacob, how you doing?
Long time no talk, buddy. Let's get this show rolling.
And we got to get this started. We're up here talking Judgment Day, and I guess with a few words, let me ask you this: how do you feel about WWE now that the draft has actually kicked in?
I think we're starting to see the real stars emerge, the ones that want to take this opportunity and make the most of it. And I'm talking about The Miz, and I'm talking about the Brian Kendrick, and I'm talking about John Morrison. These guys are ready to take it to the next level, and I'm loving watching them.
And me and you were talking shortly before this program, before we taped this, and we were saying how SmackDown is just it's been great. I mean, great booking, solid wrestling, new people on top, and it's a beautiful picture all around. But Raw on the other side, man, things are not looking up on that program. We had lousy booking, we had the same people over and over, too much emphasis on Batista and Randy Orton, and it feels pale. So, your thoughts?
I agree. It's a veteran stacked show, and you think that maybe they would have a little bit better stuff inside of them. Maybe it's a rookie creative team, but then again, maybe it's a veteran creative team, seeing how things have turned out the past few weeks.
Yeah, it is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, SmackDown is the show to watch. I can tell you that much. Which is funny because looking at our TBL poll, everybody's saying that Raw has is the brand they'll be following the draft. And yes, I did just use the word following twice in a sentence. And anyway, we're here talking Judgment Day, and we have 6 matches announced. We're going to run through them right now, give you some predictions, some thoughts, tell you what to expect. And I guess the first match on the card is Umaga facing off with CM Punk. Umaga has returned on SmackDown. He's been wreaking havoc. He's been a big part of the show, and you got to appreciate the big man. He's really made it clear that he's a big part of the show. What do you make of his return? What do you make of this match? And how do you feel about CM Punk on SmackDown?
I think Umaga has thrown SmackDown into a state of chaos right now because he came back and totally took out CM Punk when he decided to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And by the end of the show, we didn't know what was going on. Does this count as cashing it in? Does it not? What's going on?
Apparently
who's
not.
The champion? Does he have the briefcase or not? And that was just that week. And it looks like this week he's going to do even more, with wreaking havoc, and we're going to be left with more questions and answers. And I love the way they brought him back because he's a monster. He looks like one. He acts like one. And that's what his role is right now on SmackDown. And this is going to be real good for CM Punk to get a challenge with Umaga. And this could really play in CM Punk's favor, getting over with the fans even more.
Let me ask you for your prediction. Who are you going with?
This is actually, I think, the toughest one on the card to call right now. And
No, it's not. Come on.
I can see it going either way.
No,
I'm
you
going to
can't.
have to give it to Umaga.
Thank you.
Just because it's his return. They can't bury him that quickly.
Thank you. Very, very smart thinking. Of course, Umaga. I have to go with Umaga too. I think it's going to be an interesting match. I tell you, those two guys, it's a weird mix of people because both of them are the type of wrestler that can go depending on who they're in the ring with, and it's funny how it worked out, but I think the two of them put together will work and we'll get a good match. But I don't know. I don't know if it should be a long classic. I think it might be more of a Umaga squash, and I think that's the correct way to go, as weird as it sounds, because CM Punk is going to be a big star on SmackDown simply because they need him to. So let's see what happens there. But moving on. Oh, go ahead.
Let me ask you this real quick. If CM Punk loses to Umaga, which may happen, do you think he would try and redeem himself later in the night by cashing in the Money in the briefcase, or do you think he'd just hold on to that a little longer?
It's always a possibility with Money in the Bank, and the way they've made this whole briefcase, they made us think about it is it could happen at any time, and they've tried to make it spontaneous, and they've tried to make it feel unpredictable, and you're supposed to be on the lookout for when whoever has it is cashing it in. But I'm not sure. I mean, it could happen in Judgment Day. It could happen later on. Depends on what they're looking to do with SmackDown and the future storylines. But from what I know, I don't think that's happening on Sunday. So I'd say
Fair
no.
enough.
But moving on, we have a grudge rematch. Well, it's really a match, but it's in a way a rematch because the Big Show takes on John Cena again. after the two were a part of their three-way match at WrestleMania a few months ago. Big Show attacked Cena in the last pay-per-view Backlash when the Doctor of Thugonomics, as he used to be called, was taking on Edge in a world title match. And boy, I tell you, that was quite a spectacular finish. A great spot. Big Show throwing Cena through a spotlight. Big explosion happening. But I gotta tell you this. They have played this horribly ever since. It was a great angle. It was a great visual. But the follow-up was so poor, in my opinion. Cena comes out all woozy. The Miz talks crap about him on the week right after. He doesn't show. He shows up at the end of the show all drunk and high or whatever the hell he looked like. He just gives us these facial expressions, which were pretty good, I thought, the first week. Then the second week, he comes out and he's all disoriented. We hear from Vicky Guerrero that he's not eligible to wrestle. His doctors are preventing him from wrestling until Judgment Day. And Big Show attacks him. It's been a lame thing for me. John Cena's selling of this made no sense. He wrestled on Monday, in fact. It's just, I don't know what else to say about this. I'll let you take over. But give me your thoughts on this and your prediction.
It's another one of those classic WWE moves where it starts out and it's so fantastic and you think, wow, this is going to be something. And then by the next night, 24 hours later, they kill it.
Yep.
And just like you said, John Cena, he should not have even been walking 24 hours after, getting slammed to that spotlight. And Triple H can get punted in the head, and he's been gone for almost a month now, even though we understand what's going on off screen. But Cena can get chunked through a spotlight and have plate glass that's, all up in his back and everything, and somehow he can still walk and, maneuver the next day. So that's a little far-fetched to me, just from pure storyline purposes. But
well, see, what the problem is, we're trying to put too much logic into this, and the way Raw has been booked, there's just absolutely no logic.
That's definitely true. This has not been something I've been enjoying following. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logic, just like you said. And I'm really not even into this feud right now, if you even want to call it a feud.
By the way, did you know that the Big Show and Vicky Guerrero used to have the hots for each other?
Can we play a soundbite? Because I would love to hear them their wild animal sex again.
Yeah, apparently that storyline is all but forgotten. Me or you, the only people that remember, because it's all professional now, you see.
I'm not complaining that we've forgotten about that storyline.
I think it's a good idea to move on here. In a match that we're not sure if it's still happening or not, and I'll explain a little bit what I mean. For the Intercontinental title, we have Rey Mysterio defending against Chris Jericho. Great storyline that's been built over on SmackDown the past 2 weeks. They didn't get enough time to get the perfect build for it. I'd still say it was good. It was pretty decent. We got some action in the ring. We got some storytelling. But Rey Mysterio injured his knee on the SmackDown tapings that took place yesterday. We're taping this on a Wednesday. And what happened was his role was limited. They had to rewrite the entire show. And they had to change things up. But the word we got is that he's still expected to defend the title at Judgment Day. He's still expected to be a part of the program and wrestle. I would think that it's going to be a shortened match, and they might change up the way it goes. But man, what an unfortunate piece of news right there. Mysterio injured again, and high flyer like him, there's always that risk with his knees. He's had plenty of knee trouble in the past, like 4 or 5 operations on his left knee. Jericho is just looking great on SmackDown so far. I can't complain. And this is for the Intercontinental title. I gotta ask you, what do you think is gonna happen here?
I'm really not sure about it. Again, WWE could surprise me here and actually put the belt on Jericho right now, but the way I'm looking at it is I'm seeing Jericho, and this is something very few superstars can do or have ever been able to do, is run 2 storylines at the same time. And he's got this program right now with Mysterio for the Intercontinental title. But he also has this sideshow going on with Edge right now, trying to determine who is the top dog on SmackDown.
Yes.
And they're both entertaining, they're both intriguing, and like I said, very few wrestlers can have 2 programs at the same time and keep them separate but equal and keep you interested in them. And I actually like Mysterio over Jericho this Sunday at Judgment Day, because I think Jericho and Edge, they're a long way from even getting started.